AM 560. The Answer.
This live program is sponsored by Safer USA OT Media Group.
It's time for On Target Radio, Chicagoland's only radio show dedicated to the red meat issues that affect your life, from gun control to freedom of speech. Now, debating, debunking, and discussing today's hot issues. Here are your hosts, David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz.
And we're back. Another week of On Target Radio has been launched, and we're set to go. Our guest this evening is Pastor David Lowery, Jr., who is co-pastor at Fernwood Community Outreach Church in Chicago, where civil rights legend Reverend Dr. Al Sampson is lead pastor. He's also the outreach pastor at Universal Baptist Church in Harvey. Pastor Lowery is the founder and president of the Living and Driving While Black Foundation, a national civil rights organization advocating against racial profiling. He's a past president of the Rock Island chapter of the NAACP and was a crisis director for National Action Network. Pastor Lowery is here tonight to talk about the March for Justice next Saturday at the Thompson Center in support of the homeless, and about the increasing problem with illegal aliens and what they're causing in Chicago's educational system. Pastor Lowery can be heard weekdays at 6 p.m. on his radio show, Let the Truth Be Told, on TECNTV.com. David, welcome to On Target Radio.
Thank you so much, David, Mr. Lombardo, for having me on the show. First, I want to give all praises to God and my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for making it possible for me to be here. And I want to welcome all my listeners first time. If you're just passing by on the internet, stop in and check us out.
So we got a big event coming up Saturday. Let's just sort of start off with that because that's the news. Tell us a little bit about March for Justice.
Well, in light of the situation that has happened here in the black community in Chicago, the illegal aliens have been forced to the community, and a lot of money has been given to them. A lot of taxpayer dollars. And so as a pastor, I thought that it was awful bad for us to be taking care of other people who are not even citizens. And we have all these homeless people, veterans that are down on their luck, sleeping in Tent City, sleeping in the viaducts, not having food, sleeping in old buildings and cars. And so I felt that it's only right that we should take care of our own people. So I decided that what we're going to do July 22nd, this coming Saturday, we're busing in all the people to the Thompson Center, and we're asking people to come out, bring old clothes, food, canned goods, or whatever that you can find to give to our homeless people who are citizens here in Chicago and the United States so that we can help them out. Like I said, it's a sad situation that in the black community that we got all these illegal aliens. This mayor, Brandon Johnson, and the city council have taken money that's been earmarked for the black community for the drug problem. And the money was earmarked by Donald Trump. And you hear Donald Trump talking about how he helped the black community, but he earmarked $381 million to help the drug problem in Chicago, West Side and South Side. And Lori Lightfoot, the previous mayor, got the money and sat on that money and then reappropriated it to an emergency situation so they could take the money out.
Sure.
So when they made Chicago a sanctuary city and all of these illegals started piling up in the city, that was one of the ways that they could get the money and put it in their pocket, because when they tried to move the illegals into South Shore High School, the community came up and they started to, push back against it.
Well, I definitely want to talk about that in the next segment.
Okay.
But right now, the program that you're going to have on Saturday, it's just open to anybody who can walk up?
Well, we want people to come. Anybody that want to come, bring some old clothes, bring condiments, whatever that it is that you have. We want to make sure the homeless people in Chicago can get prepared for the winter. Like I said, we will be busing them down to the Thompson Center, where we would give them out tents, clothing, food, any healthcare products that we can have. So we want to make sure that they have something, since the city doesn't care about them. And I just think that as a pastor, the Lord always talking about the least people that you help, you've helped me. And so I thought that was a great thing for us to do, is help the least of God's people and make sure that they have some type of way that they can survive the winter and be able to have clothes and all the other things. We're hoping also that that they stay there and the mayor have some compassion and find a place for them to live too.
You know, I remember when Lori Lightfoot got primaried and, you know, she was going to have to run for re-election. People said, well, we couldn't do worse. I mean, there's no way you could do worse than Lori Lightfoot. And surprisingly, they did. They were able to find somebody that's worse than Lori Lightfoot. You know, if you really try hard, you know, you can do that sort of thing. So, like, you're going to be at Thompson Center. Is the city or the county or anybody giving you any money at all?
No, they're not. And we wanted to, we're asking people to donate clothing. If you can send clothing to the church, we're at 163 156th Street, Harvey, Illinois. Our zip code is 60426. Our church name is Universal Baptist Church. My bishop is Troy Gardner. You can send the clothes there. And we also are asking people for donations if they can. My Cash App is $ Pastor David, PASTOR DAVID 22. You can Cash App and we can send whatever it is, charity papers to you as well. And we can also receive donations at Zelle, and that is D Lowery, LOWERY, the word and, AND, Associates, ASSOCIATES, @gmail.com. And folks, if you send those donations, make sure there's an address that we can send you a charitable letter. And I'm telling folks, we don't care what the size is. Our people, citizens of this country, have been neglected, and the illegal aliens have taken taxpayer dollars, and they're being housed in Chicago, specifically in the black community. And so that's why we're trying to step up and help our own folks.
You're listening on Target Radio. This is AM 560, The Answer. Give us a call, 312-642-5600, 312-642-5600. I guess the question that comes to mind, and I'm not trying to be accusatorial, but where are all the churches on this?
Well, I have to be honest with you. As a new pastor, July 18th, I'll be my second year licensed and ordained at Universal Baptist Church. And I have to be totally honest. A lot of pastors have just been afraid. A lot of pastors have fell out of line from God. They're taking the money. They're worried about their state programs. And so they're missing in action right now. You know, and as a new pastor, I just don't see how my older comrades cannot stand up for the homeless people, or they don't come out and they don't fight against the homosexuals and the transgenders in the schools with our children. But as a man of God, I live by the word of God the best that I can, and these are things that I have to address because that's what God has put us here for, is to help those who might need some soul saving and to evangelize those who might need to repent through Jesus Christ. Sure. And so as a pastor, I'm standing on what would Christ do. And like I said, a lot of my colleagues have taken the money. They're afraid. They're worried about losing their 501c3s if they stand up. But if I have to lose my 501c3 to continue to preach the true word of God and help the people that need to be helped, then I don't need that thing because it's not worth it.
Did they give you, so is this going to be inside the Thompson Center?
No, it's going to be outside in the plaza.
Okay, so you didn't get a reservation to be in the Thompson Center.
Huh?
You didn't get like a reservation?
No, we didn't have to. You know it's closed now. Thompson Center.
Oh, they're selling it, aren't they?
Yeah, it's closed now. So the plaza is still open.
That's right. I forgot about
that. Open to the
that.
public.
Yeah,
so we'll be good there. Like I said, Saturday morning, I'll be there at 10. We're getting the stage erected. We got great sound system. We got a lot of great speakers coming. And like I said, folks, if you're not doing nothing, come down to the Thompson Center, bring some old clothes, bring some food, canned goods, and let us help our own citizens and show Chicago that there's still love in the city of big shoulders for our own citizens.
Sure. I definitely want to I want to talk more about homeless. We're going to have to take a break here in about a minute. I want to talk just more about the homeless problem in general. And then after that, I want to talk about the illegal alien issue because that's getting bigger all the time. But in terms of just the homeless, there's some shelters, aren't there?
Well, the shelters are being inundated with the illegal aliens now because, they're staying in police stations. They're staying anywhere that they can
Really?
pitch a tent or who would allow them to stay in that. So, and that's something that they wouldn't even do with our homeless people here in Chicago.
Yeah.
So, our people are at a true disadvantage now, especially when these people are getting money. They're getting opportunity to buy property in the black community. They're buying businesses. They're using resources. And all of these things that should be used for our own people, they're giving it away. So it's only right as a pastor for us to step up and do the right thing and help our own.
So we're going to have to take a break. When we come back, I do want to talk more about the homeless and the issues that they face. A lot of my comrades, the Vietnam War veteran guys, have become homeless. So we're going to explore that and more and return with On Target Radio. And you're listening to AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson.
Today I was watching a game show and the winner introduced his beautiful wife. The woman had a facial deformity, but you could tell he meant what he said. It's hurtful that my husband never sees my inner beauty. Gosh, why would you be writing to Dear Abby? Are you telling me things didn't work out?
How could you be married for 41 years and he never tells you you're beautiful? I mean, make it up or lie if you have to.
Maybe he feels that's like a patriarchal construct.
Start your day with Chicago's Morning Answer. Weekday mornings starting at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
Safer USA, Chicago's most trusted name in firearm training, is offering beginners classes, tactical pistol and rifle, long-range rifle to 600 yards, and the most comprehensive Illinois concealed carry program available. AM 560 On Target Radio co-hosts David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz will prepare you to carry a firearm for personal protection, including firearm, holster, and ammunition selection. A comprehensive law review designed to keep you out of trouble and even how to deal with home invasions. Firearm, ammunition, holster, class notebook are provided. Safer USA and the Aurora Sportsman's Club invites you to participate in this one-of-a-kind Illinois concealed carry program that also qualifies you for Florida, Utah, and Arizona non-resident permits. Find out what over 6,000 students already know at saferusa.com.
Or call 815-741-3474. That's 815-741-3474. Safer USA. Choosing to own a firearm is your business. Teaching you to own it responsibly is ours.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
I ran this by my doctor. I always run it by her, everything I take, and I told her I've been taking this for a while. Is this okay to take? She goes, oh, this is wonderful for you to take. Keep taking it. She goes, I approve this. This is very good. So she said, yes. She said, this is one thing you can take that's very good. I'm not going to stop taking Balance of Nature.
Start your journey to better health with Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com. For a limited time this summer, get $25 off your first order as a preferred customer, plus a free fruits and veggies travel set with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. That's 1-800-246-8751. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code CHICAGO.
Gatto Industrial Platers, Inc. is the specialist in zinc and zinc nickel plating. Gatto is big, they're good, and they're easy to work with. Their high production rack plating line has up to a 27-foot capacity to handle any zinc plating requirement. Gatto's 210,000 square foot facility can process 300 tons per day and offers complete custom packaging with available pickup and delivery in the Chicago metro area by Gatto's own fleet of trucks. All of Gatto's products are inspected and certified to ensure that each customer is receiving the best and most cost-effective plating protection. Gatto is home to King Kong, the largest zinc plating line in North America that can zinc plate parts up to 27 feet long and weighing up to 8,000 pounds. For a quote and fast 24 to 48-hour service, call George Gatto Jr. or George Gatto Sr. at 1-800-290-1223. That's 1-800-290-1223. 1-800-290-1223.
You're listening to On Target Radio on AM 560, The Answer, with David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz. Here's David and Gretchen with more interesting conversation on gun control, concealed carry, freedom of speech, and other red meat issues that affect your life. To participate, call the studio at 312-642-5787. 5600.
And we're back with more On Target Radio. Our guest this evening is Pastor David Lombardo Jr., and we've been talking about the March for Justice, which is this Saturday. What time?
July 22nd, 2023. We'll start at 10 o'clock.
At 10 a.m. And
Yes.
It's for the homeless. And bring something, bring clothes, whatever you can, and they're gonna give it out to the homeless people.
They deserve it too.
So that brings me to the question. There's a lot more homeless people than people realize, and it's not a homogenous group. It's not like just people who can't get a job. I mean, you have some people who probably really should be institutionalized
Right,
for
it is.
mental health reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But that law was struck down years ago. You can't you can't incarcerate someone in a hospital, mental health facility against their will.
Well,
it's my understanding.
You know, that's one of the things that we took a look at that. 77% of the homeless people are black. Another 70% of the homeless are veterans. And so that's why, to me, it's a travesty of justice when you have veterans who have went to war for this country and they put their lives on the line. They come back home, they're down on their luck, they can't find a place, they don't get a job, there's some mental issues that they might have, and then you just leave them out on the street like that. You know, Tent City in Chicago has been there forever, you know, and nobody has ever thought about, you know, taking the time out, opening a closed school, or getting money allocated to help them. So for our homeless people to be suffering the way that they are at this particular time, and the illegal aliens are coming in and getting the money, the resources, places to stay. And the most sad thing about it is these people are bringing problems to the city of Chicago. I just saw last night at Wadsworth, one of the first places where they placed the illegal aliens at, they're going through the community, they're terrorizing, they're jumping on the black citizens there, and they're smoking weed, they're doing dope, all this outside the schools at taxpayers' expense. And now they're in the black community causing problems. There was a big fight over there at Wadsworth School yesterday. Last night, the police was called. The migrants are fighting the police. So, but you don't hear nothing about it on the news because Brandon Johnson is keeping these things quiet so they can keep stealing the money. You know, I thought it was a real shame that the city of Chicago allocated $51 million to these illegal aliens. But the problem is this. The illegal aliens only got $4 million, which they should have got nothing. And the city of Chicago took $47 million for administrative fees.
It's my understanding, I'm a Vietnam guy, and it's my understanding that there's a disproportionate number of Vietnam veterans who are homeless. And I guess I know that there's a lot of Vietnam vets who have PTSD, but then there's a lot of Gulf War veterans that do too. Has anybody ever looked at what wars have produced the greatest number of homeless people? Is there any correlations to that? Do you know?
I haven't done that research, but that's something to think about. But I do know at Tent City, there is a lot of homeless vets out there.
Yeah.
And that situation for us is probably the most detriment because they have went to wars. They have served this country. They have put their lives on the line for this country. And we abandon them and they're living like that. It's really a slap in the face to them that we got people that are not even citizens now that they're giving money, resources, health care, driver's license. I'm telling you, I took my son to go to the driver's license place to get his ID, and I couldn't get in there for all the illegals that was in there getting driver's license and IDs. So this country is going in the wrong direction under the Biden leadership, and I think the American people and patriots across this country should be full, sick, and tired of this kind of leadership, and we have to stand up and unite and do the right thing and get a president who will bring respectability back to this country so that we can become great again.
We need more organizations, and I don't remember the name of it, but there's a company that produces a newspaper, which then homeless people, they give it to them and they go out and they sell it. Are you familiar with that? I can't remember the name of the paper.
I think that's a street journal or something
it sounds
like that.
It sounds something like that.
Yeah. It's a paper that and I think it's ran by, I think, Mark Carter.
Okay.
It's a paper that they, can sell. They can make money off of it. That talks about what's going on in the city.
I always buy one from them because they're out. Here's the problem that you have with homeless people. You don't know. I mean, you walk down Michigan Avenue or wherever you're walking, and somebody comes up and says, can you give me $1 or whatever it is, and you want to do that, but I know for a fact a lot of them are just going out and buying drugs with the money. The guys who are selling the newspaper, I'll always buy one of those things because they're actually trying to earn a living, trying to make money.
Well, I look at that situation too. A lot of our veterans and a lot of the homeless people, they need psychological health care. And they're not getting it. A lot of the veteran hospitals are not giving the services that they should be giving to our veterans. And so anytime that I have an opportunity to reach out and help somebody, I know a lot of people, I see guys, they'll come up and say, hey, Pastor, if they know me, got a few bucks, whatever. That's not a problem for me. But I always talk to them and counsel them. If they need help, I can say, hey, take my card. Let us get you some medical attention, or let me find you a position if you want to work. So we as citizens who have had the luxury of staying at home while our veterans put their lives on the line, we should be gracious enough to help them, even though that the government has turned their back on them. It's still our responsibility as citizens to make sure that they have some type of resources to live.
Listening on Target Radio, this is AM 560 The Answer. Give us a call, 312-642-5600, and I'll give you a chance to question Pastor Lowery, our guest this evening. We're talking about the homeless, the March for Justice, which is this coming Saturday, 10 a.m. in the morning.
Yes, sir.
And bring clothes. I was going to say wear clothes. And wear clothes. It's one of those nights. Bring clothing and anything else that would be useful to the homeless, and they're going to parcel it out right on the spot out in front of not the federal building, the
Thompson Center.
Thompson Center, Thompson Center, yeah. There used to be a couple I know of shelters, and they were down, I think on Wabash. Was it Wabash or Michigan, South Michigan?
Most of the shelters are full.
Are they?
Excuse me. Yeah, when the previous mayor, Lowery Lightfoot, made Chicago a sanctuary city and told the mayors of the governors of Texas and of Florida, we'll take everybody. And so that's what they did. They sent them to Chicago, to New York.
What was the point of that?
Because they wanted to get the money. See, what has happened is
this. So it's a head count thing? The number of more people you have, the more money the government gives you?
No, let me explain it to you, okay? See, when Trump put $381 million into Chicago alone, just for the drug problem in the black community on the west side and the south side. When Lowery Lightfoot, the Democrats, got that money, they didn't want to tell black folks that Trump had did that because that money might just change the vote.
Of course.
They might say, if Trump help us, then he might change the vote. So their mission was to get the money, draw the interest off of it because the money was appropriated. That means that they couldn't take it out unless an appropriation dissolved, and then they could put it and reappropriate it. And so when that money got to the place where it had to be used or lose, they pushed it to the emergency fund. Because if you remember, Lowery Lightfoot first said, well, we don't have no money to help nobody. We can't do anything. But before she left office, she said, oh, well, we'll open the emergency fund. And the emergency fund had all the money that Trump had already earmarked for the black community, but they reappropriated it for the emergency. And so that's what they needed. They needed an emergency in order to get the money out of that funding. And so when they did that, that's why you see the migrants got $4 million and the city got $47 million for administrative costs. So the politicians basically stole the money, the Democrats stole the money that Trump put in there for the black and brown community in Chicago.
I tell you what really irritates me more than anything. There are members of the black community, politicians and different walks of life, who make a living off the fact that you have that situation going on. They don't want it to end. They're making money.
Well, Jesse Jackson just retired,
We're going to actually have to take a break, but we'll pick that thought up.
Okay, no doubt.
We're going to be back with more on Target Radio after this. And you're listening to AM 560, The Answer.
The best conversations happen with a cigar in one hand and a fine drink in the other. Join Dennis Prager live in Chicago for Cigar Night on Thursday, August 24th at Klein Creek Golf Club in Winfield. Presented by Wilkins Mazda and Wilkins Hyundai in Elmhurst. Dennis will be joined by AM 560's Dan Proft and Sean Thompson for an evening of cigar smoking and good conversation. Tickets are on sale now at 560theanswer.com/cigar. Sponsored by healthinsurancementors.com and by Blue Star Security.
Fox News, I'm Ted Lindner. The man who killed 4 people in an Atlanta area mass shooting this weekend dead after he shot at police in an encounter. Henry County, Georgia Sheriff Reginald Scandrett says the suspect was taken out by teamwork.
The monster's dead. By utilizing collective investigative measures, we were able to track this suspect.
Flash flooding in eastern Pennsylvania Saturday night, leaving 5 people dead there. 2 children are still missing. Upper Makefield Fire Chief Tim Brewer providing an update on Sunday afternoon.
We continue to look for the 2 children. We are not going to give up regardless. The weather is a factor, but at this point we are going to continue the operations and have already set things in motion for tomorrow as well.
Nearly 7 inches of rain fell in 45 minutes in Bucks County Saturday night. America's listening to Fox News.
Do you like your gun range bag? There's a really cool local company here in Chicagoland that makes the finest range bags anywhere. And these quality range bags are so inexpensive that I bet you won't hesitate to buy one. The Hackett range bags from Hackett Equipment have it all. There are compartmentalized pouches that hold 2 or 4 pistols, ammo, mags, and even targets. Basically everything you need for a day at the range in a stealth design that doesn't resemble a range bag. Nobody will know you're carrying firearms. Additionally, they're super heavy duty and will last a lifetime because Hackett bags are 30% heavier than typical range bags. And the price is unreal. The large pack is under $100 and the small one under $80. But if you visit gunrangebags.com and use the promo code AM560, you'll save an additional 10%. Hackett Equipment bags really are range bags that can hack it. That's gunrangebags.com, promo code AM560. Gunrangebags.com. Do it now.
Dennis Prager here. Sue and I mean it when we say dogs are part of our family, and there's nothing like their loyal companionship. So we provide them with Rough Greens, RUFF, because we want them to feel healthy and be with us as long as possible. I know Charlie Kirk feels the same way.
The Pragers and I couldn't agree more. I rely on my trusted furry friend, Mr. Briggs, who's an absolute machine, and he relies on me to provide what's best for him. Naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black has packed Rough Greens, not a dog food, but a supplement full of vitamins, minerals, digestive enzymes, and omega oils that Mr. Briggs absolutely needs and loves. Trying Rough Greens for your dog just makes sense.
Greetings, Naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black here. I'm honored that the Pragers and Charlie trust their dog's health to Rough Green. I'm so confident that Rough Green can help your dog too that I'm offering you a free Jumpstart trial bag. Just cover the shipping. Yes, dog food is dead food, but it doesn't have to be. Go to ruffgreens.com.
We can tell you about the incredible success we bring to local businesses, but it's better when it comes directly from our satisfied clients. Here's just one example.
After searching for a new vendor to handle my search marketing campaign, I contacted Salem Surround after seeing the great work they did for another restoration company in the different market. Their team of experts recommended a mix of multiple tactics designed to get my business the most quality leads at the lowest cost, making my marketing budget stretch further. In our first year partnering with Salem Surround, we recorded our best year to date, and I've told many people how blessed I was to find them. The representative answered the phone every time I called and quickly addressed any questions or concerns I had.
Let Salem Surround give you an absolutely free audit of your current marketing and show you what your competition is doing. Then we can come up with a personalized plan that's perfect for your needs. Visit surroundchicago.com and let our marketing experts help you achieve real success. Remember to visit surroundchicago.com today.
When your home or business has an insurance claim, the next step is very important. The claim process with insurance can be tedious, hard to understand, and difficult to navigate. You need someone working for you. you need a licensed claim adjuster. Why? The insurance company will send out their inspectors that work for them, get paid by them, and represent them, not you.
This is Dan Lights from Crosscom. We inspect your property, file your claim, negotiate the damages, and maximize your settlement with your insurance company. If we complete the repairs approved by your insurance company, our service is free. Crosscom Public Adjusters has turned denied claims into approved claims. We've also increased insurance claims anywhere from 23 to 1,000%. We are licensed by the Department of Insurance and work in Illinois, Northwest Indiana, and Southern Wisconsin. Crosscom Public Adjusters, 630-871-5500. Online at crosscominc.com. That's crosscominc.com. Crosscom, building trust for over 20 years.
We now return to On Target Radio on AM 560, The Answer. If you have a question or an opinion, share it with us at 312-642-5600. And now, debating, debunking, and discussing today's hot issues. Here are your hosts, David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz.
And we're back with more On Target Radio. And our guest this evening is Pastor David Lombardo, Jr., who is here talking about the March for Justice this coming Saturday, 10 a.m.
10 a.m., Thompson Center.
Thompson Center. And bring clothing and whatever.
Clothing, canned goods, healthcare products, hygiene products, anything that we can give to help the homeless people here in Chicago, we want to be able to do that.
That's a Saturday, 10 a.m. So you've been chomping at the bit to talk about illegal aliens all night. So let's talk about illegal aliens. First of all, and maybe I just had the intel wrong, but what I had heard that the president and the cabinet or the White House was doing is they were sending the illegals to Republican cities to skewer the vote. This is not a Republican city. It's not a Republican county. And yet we're getting an influx of those very people.
Well, I want to be totally honest with you. Elections are not honest anymore in the United States.
No.
They're not honest.
We didn't know that.
And so what the Democrats are doing is because the black people are not voting like they say. Like in the last election in 2022, the midterms, it was the lowest black turnout since 2016. Really? But the numbers don't match, and so what they've been doing is saying, okay, well, black people are out there voting, but the Democrats are using those thumb drives. They're using the mail-in ballots. I mean, people in the graveyards are getting up out the graves voting. I mean, any type of tactics that's illegal, the Democrats are using it to try to stay into office. And so that's what we're seeing now. The illegals are here so that they can use them to come out and vote. They know that they have a problem, that the leadership with the Democratic Party is almost dead. Joe is almost gone. We can't have Barack Obama again because Obama's running the country now. That's why we see all of this foolishness with the transgenders. They're warmongers. That's why you see Ukraine, money being stole. That's why we're almost in for World War III with Russia. The whole 9 yards that's happening right now is done under the Democratic leadership. And the reason why they want these illegals in is because they know coming up in 2024, as bad as the Biden administration has been, the violation of our Second Amendment rights, freedom of speech, the transgenderism, the homosexuality in our schools with our children, I don't see how a person with any good common sense can vote for the Democratic Party. So their last legs are now, and they're doing anything to stay in office. And I guarantee you, they will be cheating with these illegals. Believe me, that's the only way that they're going to be able to get back into office. Because I know for a fact the American people and patriots across this country is damn well tired of living like this. COVID was the biggest scheme in America, and so now we've lost businesses. The American people, no matter what color, God's people, need to stand up right now. We need to unite and take this country back and get us back on track and get these carpetbag politicians like Biden, Maxine Waters, the list goes on of old raggedy politicians, Jesse. And that's what I want to talk about. Some of my colleagues and I grew up in Chicago, 5618 Carpenter. My grandmother was an alderwoman, Eloise Barton. So I grew up with Operation Breadbasket. And Jesse Jackson is an opportunist.
I would agree with that.
And I just want to be honest. Al Sharpton is an opportunist. Yep. They have been carpetbagging politicians, preachers on the black community, making money off the black community, really race baiting and never really investing back into the black community. They're the old version of Black Lives Matter, because Jesse never had made an impact to make changes in the black community. He never came out and worked with the street organizations. They never did anything to make changes in the black community as far as economic development, fighting for civil rights. It was more about what that they could get for themselves and the money that they could put in their pocket. Because if they love the black community, like they want everybody to believe that they love the black community, him and Al Sharpton's, the NAACP, the Urban League, the Black Caucus, you would think that we have all these black leaders and politicians and powerful places, and yet they do nothing for the black community. They steal the money out of it, and look at the black community now.
And they drive nice cars.
Oh, man, please.
They got lots of bling. It's obvious what they're doing. And
it's a hustle. And I think, black folks should be tired.
I was going to just say that. I don't understand, and we don't have enough time in the segment to finish this, but I don't understand why the revolution isn't within the community.
Well, it is a revolution in the community, and I want to talk about that. Minister David Kelly is the pastor that put this together with us. Excuse me. This is the son of David Barksdale, who started the Black Disciples back in the day. He has really stepped up to the plate. We're getting people jobs. We're doing the reentry thing, all of that. But we'll come back on the other side. We'll come back on the other side and talk about Mr. Kelly.
More on Target Radio after these messages. And you're listening to AM 560, The Answer.
Hard drives fail. Viruses destroy data. Having a copy of your work, photographs, financial records, and other important files is one step in a thorough backup plan. Geekometrics offers a secure online solution by placing a copy of your data off-site where it's safe from theft, fire, and unauthorized access. Losing photos and financial information is devastating. Geekometrics' secure online backup solution is a reliable way to back up important files. The most common reasons for not backing up are uncertainty about what needs to be backed up and how to do it reliably. Geekometrics provides a full-service managed solution with no storage limit. Geekometrics does all of the setup, configuring, testing, and monitoring. Your data is even safe when you travel with your Mac or PC laptop. Call 630-759-9283 to talk to a specialist who can help you keep your data safe. 630-759-9283. Geekometrics, helping you keep your data safe.
Feel like you're trying to push a boulder uphill wearing skates? If you run or manage a local business today, you're challenged like never before. We get it, and we want to help. We're Salem Surround. We're a full-service marketing agency that'll help you increase your customer base by designing incredibly effective plans to reach your consumers day, night, and everywhere they might be.
If you're a local business and want to see what Salem Surround can do for you, visit surroundchicago.com. Remember to visit surroundchicago.com today.
Tune in to Protecting Your Assets with Steve Shyman.
Plan ahead for the dangerous situation so that they don't affect you and you can weather the storm and just sail right over it.
Call Steve for your own free consultation today at 833-945-7283, 833-945-7283, and be sure to tune in to Protecting Your Assets with Steve Shyman Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Safer USA, Chicago's most trusted name in firearm training, is offering beginners classes, tactical pistol and rifle, long-range rifle to 600 yards, and the most comprehensive Illinois concealed carry program available. AM 560 On Target Radio co-hosts David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz will prepare you to carry a firearm for personal protection, including firearm, holster, and ammunition selection. A comprehensive law review designed to keep you out of trouble and even how to deal with home invasions. Firearm, ammunition, holster, class notebook are provided. Safer USA and the Aurora Sportsman's Club invites you to participate in this one-of-a-kind Illinois concealed carry program that also qualifies you for Florida, Utah, and Arizona non-resident permits. Find out what over 6,000 students already know at saferusa.com.
Or call 815-741-3474. That's 815-741-3474. Safer USA. Choosing to own a firearm is your business. Teaching you to own it responsibly is ours.
You're listening to On Target Radio on AM 560, The Answer, with David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz. Here's David and Gretchen with more interesting conversation on gun control, concealed carry, freedom of speech, and other red meat issues that affect your life. To participate, call the studio at 312-642-5600.
And we're back with more On Target Radio, and our guest is Pastor David Lombardo. We're talking about the March for Justice that's coming up this Saturday at 10 a.m.
10 a.m. the Thompson Center at the Plaza. Y'all come on out, bring clothes, food, anything that you have that we can give to our homeless people. They will be there. They will be grateful for what we're going to do to them because somebody has to look after our own.
It's a good project. Illegal aliens, just to put a little clarity to it, I don't think anybody really knows exactly who the heck the illegal aliens are. They're not just Mexicans crossing the border.
No, there were 150 countries who started to cross into the United States. At the southern border, when it first started, when Joe Biden opened up the gates and let everybody in, you could see long as Title 42 was in, they was really rushing to get in before they took it out. So what Joe has done is this to the American people. What he has done is that he's letting these aliens come in different from the border because now the influx at the southern border has stopped. And now all of a sudden, you're talking about the other borders, all these people coming in here. We had Tom Homan. He was the director for President Trump over the border when they had total control of it. And he talked about how that this administration is allowing people from different countries to come in and other places besides the southern border in Mexico. Now, I just saw an article where I saw Barack Obama, George Bush, and Bill Clinton hiring private contractors to fly illegal aliens into this country. Now, what kind of president is that they don't want people to come to the country illegally, but they should come and go through the process to become legal citizens? And so you're talking about 85,000 children that are missing now. And nobody wants to talk about those children. They don't know where they're at. They just came to America and disappeared. So it's a lot of corrupt things going on but with this border open. And the reason why the Democrats want it open, again, is because there's a lot of underlying reasons, with these children missing, with all the sex trafficking going on. There's some words about politicians who are supposed to be, drinking some kind of stuff all over that can make them feel young. But we really, as citizens of this country, need to pay close attention to what's going on in our country right now. Because the way it looks, if we don't really get back to God and get in God we trust back in this country, then this country is going to hell in a handbasket.
You got about 2 minutes in this segment. So they're going to give a school to them?
Well, what they wanted to do was this, and I want to thank Attorney Frank Avila, who filed a temporary restraining order for the community of South Shore. What he did was filed that to stop them from getting into the South Shore School, which had been promised to the people in the community. And so we're going to follow up with him because now that they've stopped it, and that's why they got the illegals living in the police station. And did you know that police officers are impregnating the illegals at the police station?
Seriously?
Yes, one of the illegal ladies ended up pregnant. The police officer sleep with them. And so this whole thing is turning out to be sort of raunchy right now. And it's so bad that our people are suffering. I want to send a shout out to David Barksdale, and I want to talk about him. He had the vision last year when we did a march. he had the vision this year. He called me and said, Pastor, let us do this. And it was his idea that we bring these folks to the Thompson Center and we feed them and we clothe them because we're trying to make a big difference in our community. We're also trying to stop the crime and violence. Mr. Barksdale and I have been talking to the young people. We're asking the big we to stand up, and that's all the street organizations. They will be there Saturday. Every street organization in Chicago, like we did the march, we're asking them to come out and bring something. But we're going to stand up for our community and do the best that we can to help our people by creating economics, finding them jobs, providing transportation, and all the things that we should have been, that the politicians should have been doing for black folks. That's what myself and Mr. Barksdale are doing, and the big we, all the street organizations that are putting this on. And that's why we're asking people from all walks of life to come and help us support our homeless people. Because if we don't help them, if we can show Chicago is ground zero, and what's happening here in Chicago, if we get this right, when we get it right, we can do it all over the country.
All right, we're going to have to take a break. When we come back, I want to ask you about Project 21. All that more when we return with On Target Radio. And you're listening to AM 560, The Answer.
Okay, I have a question. Do you want to eat more fruits and vegetables, but it's just too hard? Let me tell you about Balance of Nature. We all know that our bodies need a wide variety of fruits and vegetables to get the proper amount of nutrition. Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies provides a colorful variety of 31 different fruits and vegetables. Your body will get thousands of phytonutrients from every capsule. Start your journey to better health with Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com. For a limited time this summer, get $25 off your first order as a preferred customer, plus a free fruits and veggies travel set with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code CHICAGO.
This is Sean Thompson, and I'm proud to tell you about the great work of the Tunnel to Towers Foundation, a new partner of ours here at AM 560. Born on America's darkest day of 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has been helping America's heroes ever since. When a first responder or military service member doesn't come home and young children are left behind, Tunnel to Towers pays the mortgage on the family home to lift the financial burden and bring stability. For catastrophically injured veterans and first responders, Tunnel to Towers builds mortgage-free smart homes, giving our most severely injured heroes the ability to live more independent lives. You can help America's heroes and their families by supporting the Tunnel to Towers Foundation when you make a small donation of just $11 a month. Go to T2T.org. That's T, the number 2, T.org. T2T.org.
You're listening to On Target Radio on AM 560, The Answer, with David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz. Here's David and Gretchen with more interesting conversation on gun control, concealed carry, freedom of speech, and other red meat issues that affect your life.
And we're back with more On Target Radio. And our guest this evening is Pastor David Lombardo, Jr. One last time. Before we do that, quickly, Project 21.
Folks, I'm an ambassador for Project 21. It is a think tank group out of Washington, D.C. They write a lot of legislation, a lot of policies. They're a think tank group for black folks. And black folks, we need to get involved with them. They're conservatives. And the Democratic Party wants you to believe that conservatives don't care about black people. That's not true. Project 21 does that. They will help put on this march. And they can help us in so many ways. And that's why they're willing to be in the community to help us. And so I'm going to make sure Project 21 has a very visible organization in the city and across the country.
So is March for Justice, is this the first time you're doing this?
This is the very first time. And like I said, it was brought out by Brother Barksdale because of all the homeless people that him and his wife Prince's Feed. They go down and they feed the people at Tent City. And after this fiasco of them taking the money, he said, you know what, we just need to get them in a place so we can help our own people. And Mr. Barksdale and his wife was the one who called me and said, Pastor, let's do it and let's make it happen. And we want people to come out to support our homeless people on July 23rd. Bring canned goods, financial donations. I'll give you the call letters in a few minutes. Is that okay?
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, folks, if you want to give a financial donation and we need it for the expenses to put this on, my Cap Ash is $ Pastor David 22. My Zelle is D Lowery, LOWERY, AND Associates, ASSOCIATES at gmail.com. Y'all can send. We don't care about the amount. Any amount helps as long as we can raise money to cover their expenses and make sure our homeless people have something that we can help them with to take them into the winter.
Do you have you don't have any bricks and mortar anywhere, do you?
Yes, you can also send clothing to our church. That's Universal Baptist Church, 163 156th Street in Harville, Illinois. You can drop stuff off there. Call me at 708-663-5262. We'll be glad to take clothing, food at the church. Just call me. I'll be glad to come over and open it up, and we'll take it. But, folks, anything that you can give, any clothing that you might have laying around, please bring it down and let us help our homeless in Chicago, because we can see the city don't want to help them. So it's up to us, the people in the community, to make a difference and make sure that they have something too, just like everybody else.
State of Illinois should give you the Thompson building.
I wish they would.
That'd be kind of interesting. It's just sitting empty.
Then if we had the Thompson building, we would be able to open trade schools there,
sure,
all sorts of businesses there, entrepreneurship opportunities. We're going to do this anyway. I'm in the process of opening a Chamber of Commerce at Black Wall Street with Albert Burks and some of the other people that I know. They've already got the licensing and done. So, folks, y'all stay tuned, because we're going to create the Black Wall Street where we're helping other businesses open. We'll be finding money to open our schools, the whole 9 yards. So, folks, y'all stick and stay. If you have any more questions, call me, 708-663-5262. Get involved, bring clothes, send clothes to the church, give some donations. But this is what God says. When you help the least of his people, you have helped them. So, folks, let us help the least of God's people so that we can help him and get this country back on track.
See, here's your problem. Your problem is do you have any other life beside this? This is it, isn't it?
Pretty much, I try to stay on top of this because the black community, the family structure is down to 9%. It used to be 80%.
Sure.
And so we can stop the crime in the black community if we go out there and sit down and talk to our young people, listen to them, and provide resources for them, because they're waiting for us. They don't want to be doing the shooting, but there's nobody talking to them or helping them, and that's what Brother Barksdale and myself is doing, is trying to reach those who are pulling the triggers and get them out and get them some trades or learn them how to do something so that they can take care of their families and be productive citizens of society.
I've said for years, I've run a lot of organizations. I said the thing I hate more than anything are committees, because they all just look at each other and don't do anything. And I've always said what you want to do is you want to get a David Lombardo. You want to get one person who's got the fire in their belly, and you turn them loose, and they'll find people to help them. But that's how you get stuff done. Pastor Lombardo, thank you so much for coming in. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. And to the American people of patriots across this country, we don't have the luxury to hate each other anymore. There is no black Americans and no white Americans. We're all Americans. God bless you.
That's
and
it.
Peace.
Hard drives fail. Viruses destroy data. Having a copy of your work, photographs, financial records, and other important files is one step in a thorough backup plan. Geekometrics offers a secure online solution by placing a copy of your data off-site where it's safe from theft, fire, and unauthorized access. Losing photos and financial information is devastating. Geekometrics' secure online backup solution is a reliable way to back up important files. The most common reasons for not backing up are uncertainty about what needs to be backed up and how to do it reliably. Geekometrics provides a full-service managed solution with no storage limit. Geekometrics does all of the setup, configuring, testing, and monitoring. Your data is even safe when you travel with your Mac or PC laptop. Call 630-759-9283 to talk to a specialist who can help you keep your data safe. 630-759-9283. Geekometrics, helping you keep your data safe.
News, opinion, insight. This is AM 560, The Answer. WIND Chicago. Streaming at 560theanswer.com. On the AM 560 mobile app. Tune in.
The manhunt in Georgia is over. I'm Ted Lindner. Fox News officials say the man believed to have murdered 4 people in Henry County this weekend killed during the manhunt.
Andre Longmore, shot and killed by police, comes 30 hours after a massive manhunt involving several law enforcement organizations, and it comes after a gun battle with police. Here's what the sheriff had to say.
We engaged the suspect. The suspect returned fire and hit the ground running. We gave chase. Re-engaged the suspect. He produced a handgun again. Shots and fire. Well, gunfire was exchanged. The suspect was neutralized.
2 police officers were wounded in that gun battle. Both are expected to survive. One was airlifted to the trauma center at Grady Hospital in Atlanta. As for the 4 victims, all white, all in their mid-60s, and all neighbors of Longmore. Still the big question, why? What was the motivation?
Fox's Steve Harrigan there. San Antonio continuing to suffer under a deadly Texas heat wave.
They have seen the highest heat index on record just the other day at 117 degrees. Today going about 103 degrees, which is the actual temperature. Unfortunately, they've been